Okay, so I want to give you guys a kind of a reminder of how to get your stuff from ZBrush into Photoshop once you've rendered it. And this model was done a couple semesters ago by Maya Dumas, who's at Laguna College of Art and Design now. So thanks for letting me use this, Maya, even though you don't know I'm using it. Anyway, the first thing you want to make sure is you get your model posed correctly in terms or in relationship to your photo. So what I did is open up a jungle image in Photoshop, and I'm going to use this see-through feature here just to kind of see that it's posed the way I want it to. Yeah, it's not great, but it'll do for this. Okay. You can see the shadows here are kind of soft, and the way you affect that is you go to Render, BPR Shadow, and this angle is usually set to 0, which means the shadows are going to be really hard-edged. And you usually don't want that. It looks a little unnatural, especially if you have any foliage or anything like that going on. So if you turn that up to like 30, you're going to get some nice softer shadows, and it's not going to look as weird. Okay, let me shut that down. So what we're going to be doing this time, rather than using this Photoshop ZBrush to Photoshop plugin, is doing this manually. And I find it's a little more labor intensive, but it's actually easier in the long run because it doesn't add so much stuff in Photoshop that you don't need. So this way you kind of pick and choose the layers that you want to use. And the way you set that up is in Render here. You go to Render Properties, and you just turn on what you want. I want the shadows, primarily that's all I want. It's automatically going to give you a mask, okay, and it's going to give you a color version. And then once you're ready to go, all you need to do is click BPR here, like so. It's going to render, okay, and depending on how complex the model is, how many polygons you have, it's going to take a long or a short amount of time. Once it's rendered and it's done, you can see this is almost finished. There we go. If you go to Render and go to BPR Render Pass like this, you're going to see little images of the different layers that it's rendered here, different passes. Okay, so I've got a shaded one. Okay, the composite I don't really want. That's kind of everything put together. I want to have these broken down. So I've got shaded. I've got depth, which I really don't need. Shadow. Okay, it's got my shadows, and then mask. Those are the big three that I want to save. And the way you save them is you just click on this, and it brings up a dialog box to where you can then save it. Okay. So I've got this one, and this is my shaded version. Okay, I'm just going to click Save here. I'm just overwriting the existing ones I have. Okay, so I can show you how this works. Then the next one I want is Shadow, and I'm going to do this one, and I'm just saving these as PSD files. Okay, and yours, obviously, you won't be overwriting something. You're going to be saving them for the first time. And then Mask, and again, I've already got one, so I'll just overwrite that, like so. Once you're done with that, you are ready to jump into Photoshop and load those files in as layers and kind of go from there. Okay, so we're going to take that up in part 2 of this sequence. Okay, so stay tuned.